Hi, Leah Goujon here. So I just want to give you guys all an update of where we're at. So yesterday I signed the contract with the builder. So that's huge. I mean, for me, that is, 3 years worth of investigation, conversations, um, getting referrals, talking to people. Literally, it's taking me this long to find the right people to have on my team. And for me, it was the most important part of this process. So I am very happy with the person that I've signed this contract with. He's a local builder. He's from Las Arenas and he's been building houses here for a very long time. There's properties that I was able to look at. I think I am probably the first white person that he's ever built for, but I don't think that that means anything really, other than, it's a new experience for both of us. So I actually think that's a good thing. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the builder's contract because it was a pretty important part of the process. Being a retired real estate agent and writing contracts for a living, I know how important contracts are. And for me, contracts are black and white with no gray. So, what I decided to do in this process was have him present me with a contract because that gave me a good idea of where he was at, what he was looking at, sort of the commitments that he was prepared to make, timelines, that sort of thing. When I got the copy of his contract, it was very gray. I mean, when I say black and white, this was gray. So it talked about stuff, but it didn't really describe it. And for me, a contract should leave no doubt in anybody's mind exactly what we're talking about, even if you're not familiar with this country and not familiar with the materials used here or the processes used here. In my opinion, anybody should be able to look at a contract and read it and understand it. And if there's parts that aren't understandable, then those are gray. So to me, it was just more clearing up the gray. There was a few things that we added into this contract that he did not have in there. Obviously, there were things that protected me. And at the end of the day, he had no problem signing the product that we had. So he sent me a DOX, a .dox document, which I can't change. So the first thing I said to him is, can you have your lawyer or whoever is doing up this document for you send it to me in Word format? And he tried several times, tried emailing it, he tried, sending it through WhatsApp, but it was always in the same format. So I finally said to him, look, I can't change this document. I can't add it. I can't do anything to it. So the only thing I can do is recreate it. I said, so I'm going to pay my lawyer to recreate this document and at the same time add the elements in it that I need to be in there as well. So he said, no problem. So I talked to my lawyer, and the lawyer that I use is Guzman Ariza. They are a very prominent law office here in town, probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest office in town. And, certainly not only reputable, but they've been here for a long, long time. And I've done business with them in the past, so I have every trust in them. So part of the conversation that I had with my lawyer was payment to the builder. So what we decided was that I would have the lawyer do the payment. It was just easier for me as far as transferring money goes. So I just transferred the money down to the lawyer and then he will make the payments to the builder. So all of that was fine. And for me, it was kind of nice because it's like, all the money that I'm committed to building these two buildings is now paid. In my mind, it's paid. It's been sent to the lawyer. So, I mean, everyone has different opinions about that, but honestly, it's a 5 month build. Whether I hung on to the money for 5 months or paid it up front, for me, makes no difference. And paying it up front isn't exactly what was negotiated with the builder. Up front was 50% of the total money. So I just want to talk about some of the elements of this contract. before I get too far ahead. So the very first part of the contract is just full description. Who I am, who the builder is, including all of our identifications, plus the property, all the title information to the property. It's nice to have a contract where you are exactly specifically describing the piece of land that you are building on, as well as a reference to the plans that you're going to be using to build. So whether those plans are attached as part of the contract, which is what we did, or they're described in the contract. Now we did do a brief description, but then we sort of did like as attached. And both the builder and I know these plans very well, so we're both good with that. So it also includes the electric and the plumbing. So he had just sort of, very randomly said, okay, it includes the electric and the plumbing, where for me, it had to be a lot more specific than that. So I actually did up an electric plan. I want to show you guys what I did, because really it was very rudimentary. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need to, start paying people crazy dollars. So really all I did, so let me just do the one that's the house. So this is, literally all I did was I drew the plan of the house, and then exactly where I want lights, ceiling fans, wall sconces, and outlets. So that's all I included on my plans. It's up to the electrician to figure out, okay, if she wants a light over there, then I need a switch over there, and I need the wiring to attach those two. So for me, they're not electrical drawings, they're just I don't know what the proper word would be. It's really just the number of ceiling fans that I want, the number of ceiling fans with lights, the number of light fixtures, the number of wall sconces. I've included pendant lighting. So I wanted to be very specific with that in the contract. I don't want me to be saying, oh, it includes electrical, and I'm thinking, because literally when I added up these 3 buildings, there was over 100 wall sockets, like just the plugins. So would I have thought that there was 100 if I was just guessing? Probably not. It wasn't until I drew it out that I realized, oh, I need 103 is the number that it worked out to be. So it's a good idea, because even at the end of the day, I think the ceiling fans with lights that I want to do is 35 for the 5 separate buildings, 5 separate living spaces. So for me, it was important that that sort of stuff was black and white and very clear, because at the end of the day, I don't want to have a discussion with somebody over what their idea of my electrical needs are and what my idea of my electrical needs are. The bathrooms was easy. It was just the number of bathrooms that I'm doing and the number of kitchens, because really it's all the plumbing for that. The other thing that I was very careful to describe was that the electrical and the plumbing has to be connected to the source, which means that they have to run all of the plumbing right to the street, as opposed to just installing the plumbing in the house. So those sorts of descriptions are very important to have, so everyone knows at the end of the day exactly, what we need to be looking at as far as finished product goes. So that was as far as describing those 2 things. The other thing is he had told me that it would take him 5 months to build, so he had put that in the contract that he gave me. So what I did was I also added a completion clause, which says that for every day that he's over the 5 months, I will deduct $100 from the final payment. The payments are 50% upfront, another 25% when the roof, electrical, and plumbing is all installed, another 15% when the doors, windows, and kitchen cabinets are installed, and then 10% on completion. So it's, and it's between now and 5 months from now, which is September the 3rd. So we also added a 2-year warranty for the building. And then there's just some clauses in there that just says he's going to build, he's going to respect the current labor laws. He has a responsibility, all of his responsibilities, including cleanup of the lot at the end of the project, removing, unused materials, that sort of thing. So very detailed. As much detailed as I could possibly put. The house has to be finished with the panetta, which is purging, with a coat of paint on everywhere. So pretty specific where ceramic is going to go, that sort of thing. Because again, at the end of the day, having a contract that is just really well understood between both parties for me is everything. And it did take us longer. It probably took us a good 10 days going back and forth with the lawyer and just, making sure we had it in a format that we needed, and then meeting with the lawyers. We also have Easter coming up here. So Easter here in the Dominican Republic is absolute insanity. It's an actual whole week of holidays here. It's not just a weekend like it is in Canada. So anyway, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So we are now starting. I mean, the builder will probably start, I'm guessing, at the Monday will be his first day. Like I said, this is a week's holiday for most people, so I don't see him starting before that. But 5 months from now, we should see the building go up as soon as he gets going. So the thing that I quickly have to do, because in order for him to build, he needs water. I have drilled the well already. You guys already know that. You saw the video on that. But what I haven't done is brought the electricity to the property. And once the electricity is to the property, then the guy that drilled the well is going to put the pump into the well. So the electricity has been brought by the city from the street to a common point that's sort of amongst all of these lots. Well, it's about a lot and a half away from me. So I need to have an electrician bury this line from this box, this green box, to my property, and then have it available for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock when the guy comes to install the pump in the well. So all of that sort of has to happen. We need to get water flowing on the property, electrical to the property, and that should all happen tomorrow. So I'll keep you guys posted. It's all exciting for me. It's all starting. We'll talk to you guys soon.